What is up, guys? This is Sudoku Warrior back with another episode of Simple Souls that I managed to drag out of the old archives of my computer. Alright, so let's get started. Today we're gonna go explore Sen's fortress. Right when you come inside, you can't really see it, but directly inside of the fortress, like 2 or 3 tiles back, there's a pressure plate. You can see me back over it there, and it launches a series of arrows at you. Those arrows will definitely kill you if you don't either dodge out of the way or block them all. As you saw, when you walk in, 2 of these lizard men decide to chase you back out. They have a lot of poise, and they're probably the first enemy in the game that you won't be able to stagger with just a single sword hit. So for them, it's important, very, very important to stay out of their range. Up to the right up here, there is a Soul of a Brave Warrior. Free souls to grab. And then if you head inside, you'll come to this little walkway with the first set of giant swinging axes. These are the main trap in Sen's fortress. If you walk past them one at a time, you can take the last 2 if you're sprinting. They're not that hard to get past. Alright, so the reason I said all that stuff about digging this out of the archives is because this was an old video from a while ago, back when I was still really bad at parrying. Usually when you're fighting this guy on this little narrow walkway, it's better to try to parry him and kill him with ripostes, or however you say it, or backstabs to push him off the ledge, instead of actually trying to fight him, or else you'll end up running off the ledge yourself half the time. So anyways, none of these axes are particularly hard to get past on that first little strip, but there is a mage up here that likes to shoot lightning at you. Just like that. When you're going to go fight him, you can take these, let one of his lightning bolts collide with the first of the swinging axes, and then sprint across the last 3. Alright, directly inside that doorway is another pressure plate that conceals another arrow trap. You can pillage some large titanite shards from here, and go prep for the rest of the fortress. Yeah, you can wait for your... If you got hit by those flamberges, those curved swords build up a lot of bleed, so it can be pretty terrible for your HP if you let them hit you too many times. There is a sleeping lizard man down there, but he doesn't really do much. Alright, so that guy, it's pre-programmed. He walks in front of you and then gets knocked down by the boulder, and then comes charging in after you, hungering for your flesh. He's not hard to beat at all. Same method as the rest of them. Their stab attack will bounce off of your shield, and if you're feeling brave, you can stagger them if you two-hand your weapon. That guy won't wake up until you attack him, so it's really no big deal if you drop down there and stuff. Just don't land on him. These guys do... the Man Serpent Greatsword is arguably the best strength weapon in the game, but since this is just a Claymore normal playthrough, we'll be sticking with the Claymore. And onward through this fog gate. Once you get up here to this gate, you've got a couple of seconds before a lizard man, another flamberge lizard mage, comes and attacks you from behind. So use that time to trigger, yet another arrow trap. Let that kill the first snake man, and then take out this guy again. Just the stabs and stuff. The lizard men have, like, no poise, so they're really easy to kill. Anyways, alright, when you come up to this doorway, wait, or you will get hit by a boulder, smacked and thrown around to your death. Unless you have enough HP, then you'll just get hit and smacked around. Follow the boulder's path downwards, and there is a room to your left. Run into that so you don't get hit by any boulders. You can wait right in this doorway for enough boulders to fall into the pit at the end of the hallway. When they do, it opens up a door to, well, one of the boulders will run across the full pit smash into a wall and break it, leading to a room with a very useful ring, which I believe we will get in a second. These are called mimics. They're chests that if you just straight up go up to and try to claim what is inside, will eat you and definitely kill you at this level. They're not a hard fight at all, just don't stand directly in front of them, and their limbs are so long that most of their attacks will just swing right over your head. Alright, head back here, wait for the next boulder to pass, and sprint across. In the window up to your right, you'll see the covetous gold serpent ring. That ring allows you to increase your the item drop rate that you see by, I believe, 200, which is extremely, extremely useful when you're trying to farm for really rare items and stuff. Yeah, alright, so that elevator has bloodstains on it. That, to most people, that's, of course, indicative of just the nature of Dark Souls, but it actually means that there are spikes on the ceiling. When you're in this elevator, the entire time you're going up the elevator, walk forward, and as you saw there, it looks like it goes up a little bit. No, it doesn't actually go up another floor, it just smashes you against a bunch of spikes on the ceiling and kills you instantly. Alright, so once you're up here, if you're interested in pursuing Big Hat Logan's quest line, I have no idea why I turned this, but you can turn that, wait for those boulders. You can see that little 152 that popped up. You can wait for these boulders to kill the sleeping lizard man you saw earlier. Anyways, when that lizard man is dead, you can rotate the thing again to send the boulders down another path, and run down the path that leads to the lizard man, where you can go meet Big Hat Logan and save him from a cage. He's really, really good for sorcerer builds. He sells a lot of useful items when you get back to Firelink Shrine. Alright, so we're gonna head down here. A lot of the time, that lizard man will still be alive, but he'll have a considerable chunk of his HP gone. It's not too hard to fight at all. The two-hand slam will break his poise, so it's no big deal either. You can let Logan out of his cage up here. And you can come for what the real good stuff in here is. There's a soul of a hero, which is worth 10,000 souls when consumed. Very, very useful, especially at this point in the game, because it's worth about as much as bosses have been up to this point. It's in this cage right over here. Just open it up and go inside and grab the goodies. Yep. Very, very useful. That's probably the most important loot in Sen's Fortress. There are tons and tons and tons of other little bits and pieces scattered around in here, but they're pretty hard to get, so I wouldn't recommend going for most of this extra stuff until New Game Plus. But that Soul of a Hero is really, really easy to get to. Anyways, if you come back up here, there's another ring, the Ring of Steel Protection, which adds 50 armor. No, it's not a mimic, don't worry. Which adds 50 physical armor protection when you equip it. Not a lot of players like to use this because it doesn't really do too terribly much, but if you have a spare ring slot just sitting around, I'd recommend using it. Alright, up ahead here you can see down there there's an NPC you can talk to and another pair of lizardmen and also a useful weapon, but they're not worth really dropping down to unless you really are dedicated to doing Sigmar of Katarina's questline. And head back down, just follow the same route you took before. Make sure you watch out for that elevator. The Mimic does not respawn, and he does drop a lightning spear, which can be a useful weapon, but again, Claymore. Claymore is far superior. Alright, heading up out here, and we are almost out of Sen's Fortress. Up a little bit ahead, there's going to be another pressure plate trap in the hallway. Even if you are running at 25% equip load, the next pressure plate trap is guaranteed to have most of its arrows hit you, which will, again, likely kill you. You can see what a chunk of HP they take out right there. Alright, and then head up ahead. This is another set of swinging crescent axe blades. These ones should all be taken at one sprint, which you cannot make it past those axe blades at more than 50% equip load, which is a pretty big impediment to a lot of people that haven't figured out the whole equip burden system in the game by this point. And then just this guy will not aggro or start shooting fireballs or start shooting lightning bolts at you when if you go and fight the other lizard man, the non-mage one. He won't aggro from that distance, so you can safely fight the first guy before you go challenge the second mage. There's another mage, throws electricity at you as well. Those last pair of axe blades should be taken in pairs, 2 at a time, instead of just trying to run past all 4, because you will get knocked off. And there is a last cruel arrow trap that a lot of people miss, but can be easily avoided by sprinting up the stairs at the end of the fortress. Down here there are 2 Balder Knights. The first one aggroes immediately when you're on the staircase, and you can just smash them to bits because they have almost no poise. So they are definitely easy kills. You can see the other guy. You can lock onto him from up here, but you can't actually hit him. There he is. There is some loot in the chest behind him, which adds 30 or 50 fire protection to you. It's another ring, but again, goes unused because there's a lot of better ways to get that kind of thing. Alright, don't spend too much time up on this roof, and if you take a right, you can come down here and find a bonfire. This will keep you from having to run the entirety of Sun's Fortress again. Alright, well that's it for today. Level up your endurance, and peace.